This piece is a part of the Term 1 rewards from my Patreon. Link in the description. Alright, so Marvel Spider-Man Remastered for the PC came out recently. My reaction to that was fairly reasonable. Same as everyone else. Definitely nothing noteworthy about it. I pre-ordered the game. I went out of my way to buy a PS5 controller so I could play the game the way that God intended, and hovered over the play button on Steam until like 12 a.m. only to realize the game was released at 10 a.m. instead of 12. Like every other game. A minor setback, but I knew it was probably going to end up 100%ing the game anyway, which, as I'm actually talking about at the moment, I have almost done, not including the DLC. I knew I was going to take my time, and that was fine. Story time here for a second. This game actually came out a few years ago for the PS4, but I haven't had a PlayStation since the PlayStation 2, since I lacked the essential entrepreneurial skills that befell a 10-year-old to possess to buy any form of competent gaming hardware outside of the realm of gifts. That's why I couldn't get it. I'm not much of a Marvel nerd, so when I go and I watch the movies, I only watch the ones for the characters I'm interested in. I ignore most of the shows, I don't clap in the movie theater, and I think they're cool movies, but probably much less than a lot of other people. So I go to the movies, I buy my popcorn, and I leave the film thinking, that movie was cool. I like the part where they make me go hee hee, and where they punched a lot of people. But like 90% of the rest of the world who likes Marvel, Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. You know, because I'm different. But I think the idea of his story is fascinating. The villains are cool and the designs are awesome. Black Cat included, so much so that I knew that I wasn't even going to get through the story mode of this game before I ended up making fan art about it. So here we are, done with the fan art, wanting to make more, and still not done with the game. I know a lot of people probably haven't played a Spider-Man game before, so they won't get the appeal of them, but put simply, it's the web slinging. Beat up people, crawl on walls, and make witty comebacks at people for days, but the web slinging is the part that makes my brain revert back to completely smooth brain 10-year-old raccoon. Just look at this, you could feel the thwip. I remember playing the original Spider-Man on the PS1 and the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man on the PS2 when they came out. They were awesome, but it wasn't until Ultimate Spider-Man where I was introduced to top-tier web slinging. Your webs attached to freaking buildings. You could use your webs for combat. You could web launch to get yourself to other places faster. There was nothing more satisfying than seeing how good you could get at the web slinging. I actually got so good at the game that I could get to places without even web slinging. You can master the parkour in those games from jumping from one building to the next. I was no longer the ultimate Spider-Man, I was the ultimate Frogman. A torch I gladly passed on to myself in this game too. You might think that sounds counterintuitive, but the way these games are designed follow the simple philosophy of easy to learn, hard to master. I tanked hundreds of hours into the game that maybe took 6 hours to beat. I replayed those missions over and over again as a kid because intuitive gaming features like replay mission weren't available yet. If I wanted to fight Carnage as Venom, that was a 3-hour time commitment. I was speed running to replay one level again. So this was 10-year-old me forming those old core memories. I could say that Spider-Man 2 was just as good, the Doc Ock one, not the Amazing Spider-Man 2. That one was something, but that's for another video. And I've played a few Spider-Man games since then, but they didn't really have the appeal that Ultimate Spider-Man did for me. Then suddenly, one day out of the blue, in 2018, Insomniac goes, "Hey buddy boy, we noticed your wallet's got some heft. Let's take care of that. We got a new poppin' Spider-Man game for you. Fresh full of thwip, stacked with the drip, with moves so sick, it make me want to commit." The smooth brain raccoon saw the price tag of $60, and I thought, easy, I'll sell some of my bone marrow to get the game. But there was a bigger problem at hand. PlayStation exclusive. So here I was, unable to play this masterpiece because of all the lovely debts of a young adult working full-time and attending college. I thought, maybe one day it'll go to PC, maybe one day I'll be able to play it. So in the meantime, let's make do with Let's Plays. I watched Jacksepticeye play the games from start to finish. I saw a twinkle in his eyes, knowing full well he was experiencing what I had experienced as a 10-year-old lad. I shed a single little raccoon tear as I put my hand to the window pane outside of a rainy day. So I made fan art, biding my time until the day where I would either own a PS4 or it would come to PC. Then the PS5 was announced. I thought, oh, maybe there's a chance. Surely the game would get a remaster. And not only was I correct, but Miles Morales came to the PS5 as well. Another Spider-Man experience. Now there were 2 games I wasn't being able to play. I stared out of the window of opportunity only to be denied glorious thwippage at the scalper's price tag of $1,000 for a PS5. I didn't do it, of course. I have a personal vendetta against scalpers. But Destiny had other plans. It knew that this raccoon would one day experience 4K maximum thwip. August 12th happened. The game was released. I got home from work. I bought the biggest family-sized bag of Takis I could find. I hopped onto Discord with my friends and did my best to convince them I don't have a problem. And I don't. PS5 controller in hand, concerning twitch in my left eye from lack of sleep, and I was ready for the genuine Spoderman experience. And I hit play. And it was beautiful. The nostalgia, the thwip, the 6-spider drip, Black Cat being thick, all of it, boy. Another Spider-Man defining game experience. And Insomniac has more around the corner. Spider-Man 2 has been announced. I will scrimp and save until I can get a PS5 so I'm not oppressed by another 5-year paywall in playing these games. And if you want to be a part of this journey, check out my Patreon. Not only will you be able to fund my aggressive web-slinging addiction, you'll also get cool high-resolution art like this piece right here. I'll leave a link to that in the description. I hope you guys found this video entertaining. I don't have a problem, but I'm gonna go now. I gotta put 600 more hours into this game. Bye!